People keep telling me I must be crazy. Marvel's better now. Stop acting like it's 2018. They swear Marvel finally learned their lesson, that the course corrections finally happened, and that the worst is behind us. But here's the reality. Marvel isn't fixed. It's stuck in the same loop, only now desperation is making it worse. Kill an icon. Gender swap a legend. Celebrate heroes committing murder. Bring back the same architects who burned the place down in the first place. If that's what you call progress, you probably also financed a 98 Corolla at 29% APR. It's not 2018 anymore, and there are zero excuses for making the exact same mistakes today. If you think Marvel is fixed, the evidence from the past week alone will change your mind. Spoilers, it's worse than you remember. And I do want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video and the channel, the 616 Comics, the #1 producer retailer in the entire industry. And if you go in the video description, you can get 10% off their awesome retailer exclusive variant covers. The Silver Surfer, Cosmic Wanderer, Herald of Galactus, one of Marvel's most iconic figures, a man who sacrificed his freedom to save his world, only to be cursed as the Herald of Destruction. For decades, Norrin Radd carried the weight of guilt, sacrifice, and redemption on a cosmic scale. Now, Marvel has killed him off. In his place, Kelly co-inherits the power cosmic and takes on the mantle of the Silver Surfer. Writer Greg Pak describes her as no-nonsense, cocky, dangerous, and promises she's much less predictable than Norrin. Marvel is running the same tired playbook. Kill the male icon, slot in a female replacement. They're still carrying on with the all-new, all-different formula that failed years ago. Even worse, the tail is once again wagging the dog. Marvel Comics is copying failed movie ideas for synergy while the MCU dies a slow, painful death into irrelevance. Things aren't working out very well. Well, what should we do? Let's kill a character off and let's replace him with the new diverse female version of the character, and hopefully we can get some of that spec value spiking the prices and interest in the comic book. The problem is, at this point, they've literally done that with almost every single hero. And Marvel keeps doing this to their own detriment, and it never works. We've seen Kate Bishop, Riri Williams, Laura Kitty, Ellie Camacho, Elektra, Captain Marvel, Captain Britain, Spider-Gwen, and for some reason, every time they make one of these stupid decisions, they can never undo it in the end. But every single one of these stupid ideas collapses over time once the novelty wears off, and fans aren't opposed to new characters. They're just opposed to just taking the characters that they like, putting a new coat of paint, whether it be a gender, a new race, a new sexuality on the character, and acting like you've done something new. This has been played out so many times, but I'm supposed to ignore that it's still happening. It's not 2018 again. They're not doing the exact same things that they were doing 7 years ago. I guess we're all just supposed to not understand exactly what's going on. To this day at Marvel Comics, everything's fine. And if killing off and gender swapping legends isn't lazy enough, Marvel continued to flip the script on heroism. You might remember, with great power comes great responsibility, but the new ethos is, with great diversity comes great assassination. X-Men 21. The Juggernaut rips off a villain's head with his bare hands in front of a traumatized mutant. In X-Men 22, Beast lets him know, we don't kill people. Juggernaut's response, yeah, I did, and I do it again. Remember when that would have broken the entire X-Men team? Now it's just another Wednesday. Ultimate Hawkeye #1 takes it even further. Charlie assassinates Ulysses Claw with a Mach 3 hunter-killer arrow. Romanticized like a man feeding the poor, complete with poetic narration about his dying final breaths. Then they tell Tony Stark to lose their number and head to a party. No hesitation, no moral weight, just cold-blooded murder presented as heroic. This isn't edgy storytelling, it's the moral collapse of comics. Marvel's heroes used to struggle with power and restraint. Killing was rare, dramatic, left scars that lasted years. Now, murder is a mic drop. The X-Men keep an executioner on the roster, Hawkeye assassinates someone, and grabs a beer. Does anyone believe this is what Stan Lee gave his life to achieve? Because we've gone from moral compass to moral collapse at Marvel Comics, and you can kind of understand why. those older writers that set the foundation of the universe, they were all veterans. They went out there and they sacrificed for their country, for their countrymen, to go and ensure that we all had freedom. They went out there and saw real heroism on the field of battle. So they know it's a last resort. And if you do kill somebody, it should greatly impact you. But when you look at modern writers like a Dennis Camp, they are way more into the Antifa camp, that execution equals justice, that is a good outcome in the situation, that's something that should absolutely be celebrated and featured in Marvel Comics. And it happened twice this week. Now heroes are portrayed as weak if they're not willing to go out there and murder somebody in cold blood. And of course, that's not everything of note when it comes to Ultimate Hawkeye. If you weren't aware, this is another woke replacement character disguised as Progress. Charlie is written as gender fluid, they, them, Native American, of course, replacing a traditionally straight white male hero. And in this week's Ultimate Hawkeye #1, they, them defeat Clinton Barton in one-on-one combat, because we do need to prove that the new hero is far better than that straight white, problematic male hero that was there before them. And the murder of a bad guy that was no clear and present danger to anybody in the comic book is righteous because, Hawkeye Charlie is such a marginalized character that it makes it the right thing to do. There was a time when Marvel Comics treated their heroes killing as an ultimate tragedy within their stories. I think we all remember the great example that is the Dark Phoenix saga, where Jean Grey ends up destroying an entire star system after being overwhelmed by the Phoenix entity and was literally put on trial for genocide. Even though she didn't do it, it was the Phoenix entity that did it. And even the X-Men themselves doubted whether or not she deserved to live. And she ended up choosing death. And those killings and that sacrifice haunted Marvel Comics and certainly the X-Men for years upon years. It would never, ever be treated like that today, because the age of heroes at Marvel Comics has all been but extinguished at this point. And here's the kicker. Marvel's moral collapse was not an accident. It was built, engineered by the leader of the Portland Mafia. And now, rumors suggest they're dragging him back. Brian Michael Bendis, the man who launched Ultimate Spider-Man, created Miles Morales and Jessica Jones, shaped House of M and Secret Invasion. For years, he was Marvel's golden boy, the writer who could do no wrong. Then, he did everything wrong. By the end of his Marvel run, Bendis had become the bloated architect of everything fans hated. Endless retcons, overwrought dialogue, forced representation over storytelling. He brought in the Portland Mafia, a clique of progressive writers who push ideology over craft, turning heroes into mouthpieces for nihilism. He left for DC in 2017, and somehow it got worse. And now, rumors suggest he's coming back to Marvel, possibly relaunching the Ultimate Universe after Jonathan Hickman's done. Marvel isn't learning from its mistakes, it's rehiring them. And they certainly aren't bringing him into the fold because all of a sudden Bendis is back to prime Bendis and he's a good writer again. No. It's because they're out of ideas. It's because they're completely desperate. Sales are tanking, Hickman's abandoning the Ultimate Universe, and they've got nowhere left to go. And don't forget, they did try to bring him back to lead the X-Men line, but he turned that one down. Apparently the Ultimate Universe might be a little bit easier for him to crack than what they've done to the X-Men. But you will be getting no new blood at Marvel Comics. They're just dusting off the stuff that drove you away in the first place. And you better believe that he will be bringing the Portland Mafia with him. Kelly Sue DeConnick, Matt Fraction, Chelsea King, Greg Rucka, David Walker, amongst others. A clique of Portland-based writers that follow Brian Michael Bendis around and had an enormous hand in getting Marvel to the depths at which they are right now. I guess they've decided, what the hell? Let's see if we can alienate everybody and drive everybody off from reading Marvel Comics these days. And I do get that this is a strategic bullet that they're firing here. Yes, Brian Michael Bendis was the original architect of the Ultimate Universe and had tremendous success on Ultimate Spider-Man. But he is well over a decade past writing any good stories from Marvel or DC. And this idea that he's going to rediscover his Ultimate Spider-Man magic is absolute fool's gold. It's snake oil. And I wish I could say I'm surprised they're doing this, because he really did burn it down in the first place. Every single thing that's been destroying Marvel Comics for the last decade is because of Brian Michael Bendis. But they are so desperate at this point, they will do anything in their power other than actually going out there and finding new, good, creative people that have a good idea for Marvel Comics. God forbid we actually add quality back to the equation. That will not happen. And Marvel today is not better than it was in 2018. In many ways, I would say it's far worse. There's far less quality. They have driven off every decent writer that could work for them at this point. They're all on the indie scene. And shockingly, the indie scene is thriving, and that's where a vast majority of the actual quality in comic books is today. So do not sell me your stupid lies about it's not 2018 at Marvel Comics anymore. You're damn right it's not. It's absolutely worse. And Brian Michael Bendis returning will make it worse. If you want to see what I'm talking about, the kind of people he likes to associate with, and that he'll be onboarding Marvel Comics when he arrives, watch my video exposing just how badly things went for Chelsea Cain at Marvel Comics, a writer that Brian Michael Bendis personally got hired at the company. I do appreciate the time. And remember to keep thinking critical.